Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for BroadwayWorld. The Olivier Award-winning Best Comedy, The Play That Goes Wrong, has come to Broadway's Lyceum Theatre, and we're here on opening night to celebrate with the company. Now I can finally say it. It's happened. Broadway debut. How do you feel tonight?
I feel, I don't know how to describe it, to be quite honest. It's incredible. I mean, we've been working on this show for 4 years, loads of different incarnations, different versions of it. I never dreamed when we first started, when we read this in a room at Lambda all those years ago, that I'd be standing here at this party at a Broadway opening. It never occurred to any of us, I think. So I can't say it's a dream come true, because I didn't even dream it.
I love that. But we spoke earlier tonight. We were on the carpet, fire trucks going by. Only in New York, but it must be so exciting for you. I mean, there's your name at the Lyceum Theatre. I mean, it's such a big deal.
I know. I mean, this is by far the biggest opening night of my life, by far, and it's been amazing. Everyone in the States has been absolutely amazing. The audiences are great. The producers here and the crew here at the Lyceum are just incredible. I mean, I'm not sorry, English people, you're great too. I love you. I've got to go back and direct them soon, so you're great. But I'm a bit.
Americans laugh more. The American audience.
They're a bit louder, yeah. They're a bit louder, and they laugh in slightly different places. And now and then they do this thing where they go whoa, which we just don't do in London. And they tend to shout out and get involved a bit more, it really works for our show. So that's great.
Collaborating together on this project, what it's been like working together?
Horrible. No, I gotta say, this is all brand new for me, and Kevin has been an incredible mentor and a friend and a wonderful collaborator. And I feel like it's been a bit of a dream to not just want to do this all my life, but to get to do it with someone with the wisdom, experience, and generosity as Kevin. I feel very lucky.
All right, well, for me, it's clearly, you're never going to meet a more gracious, humble, professional person. The thing about the theater is you have to show up every day, and not only did he show up every day with notes and came from it from the heart, and just to be with somebody who is just so passionate about the theater, who doesn't always get to toil in the theater, has been terrific. And so our job is to make sure he does many more shows in the theater, because there's no one better to work with.
Have you caught the bug? I mean, like you and I talked earlier and before, it's like this is a whole different animal, but it's so contagious.
I think, like many people, I've had the bug all my life, and to get to actually participate in it it really is a dream come true, and I would love to be involved in various ways in future productions, for sure.
Okay, so you made your Broadway debuts tonight. When you took your bow at the Lyceum Theatre, do you remember what you were each thinking?
This is going to sound dreadful. I clocked eyes with J.J. Abrams, and he went, and I thought, oh, he liked it. We're all right. No, it was just a feeling of utter joy, and feeling a little bit more lucky than I should be.
Because we're so close to the front of the stage at the end, I was thinking, I really hope I don't headbutt that guy, because he stood up as I went down. And luckily, as I came in, he was about this close, and we went like this, and then I went back, and it was but weirdly, like, it's amazing what goes into your head at those kind of moments.
Or just like don't fall over, or watch your boobs, or yeah.
Watch your boobs.
Like, oh.
Nothing falls out on you, and they grab you like a rag doll.
I am perfectly secure. There is so much material between me and the audience. Don't worry.
You heard it here first. A lot of material between you and the audience.
Between my bits and the audience.
Being on Broadway in this show, what it all means to the both of you?
It means so much. Right from being a child, I've wanted to act, and so to finally have that come true, and to be here today, and not just on Broadway in any show, on Broadway with all of my best friends in a play that we all tried to create together is amazing, and to be a part of that is just unbelievable, and I'm so grateful.
Yeah, it's really difficult to put into words, actually. and in a sort of as unsentimental a way as possible, we were like sat in the dressing room the other day, and West Side Story came on the speaker. We're like, oh, this is great. And then we're, hang on a minute, we're listening to like one of the great Broadway musicals in a Broadway dressing room on Broadway. And it's sort of just, it's slightly mind-blowing, and it's all a bit overwhelming. But we're having just the best. We're just living the dream. I can't, it's very difficult to describe how amazing it feels.
Took your bow tonight, Broadway debut. Do you remember what you were thinking?
I was like, don't cry, Nance, because you always cry in bows. That's what I was thinking. I was like, don't cry, because all these photographers rushing up the aisles being like, woo, yeah, cool. And I was like, just don't cry, because otherwise you're crying forever in your Broadway photos. And that's definitely a thing that I would do. And I didn't cry much.
For you?
Can you bleep things out? Great. Fuck me. This is happening. That was what was going through my head. That and there's a lot of peanuts on the floor, and just for some reason I noticed that there were more peanuts today. I got so many curtain tassels in my mouth. Yeah,
that was wrong.
Yeah, that was weird.
More peanut shells.
Yeah, there were peanuts. Less peanuts now, but there were too many peanuts. It's absolutely my fault. It's up to me how many peanuts I spit out tonight. I spat too many peanuts out, and I was just aware of grinding them into my. I had my mother's voice, in my head going, Robin, you're grinding peanuts into the cap. It's everywhere, man. I'm going, sorry, Mum. I'm on Broadway. What the fuck am I thinking about my mum's voice?
You're a Broadway man. What are you doing?
Yeah, you know, it's my dad that shouted out in the show tonight. So in the show tonight, someone shouted out. So Trevor does. He's doing this thing.
Wait,
that was really my dad. Trevor does a thing where he's about to have an episode and he needs a bit of help from the audience. And just one solo voice on its own was my dad shouting, "You can do it!" And it was genuinely my dad. And it was great because then as Trevor, we have like a stock joke. If you have one voice, you go, "Thanks, Dad," or "Thanks, Mum." And it was a really nice moment of going, "Thanks, Dad."
I can't believe that was really your dad.
It's actually my
I was
dad.
like, old joke, whatever. It's not loads of times, but it was actually your dad.
Yeah, man.
That was the best.
I don't know how you do what you do 8 times a week. I mean, you carry a piece of furniture around on your back, you knock half the set over, whatever, and you're like, without giving anything away, sitting on a set that's ready to collapse. I mean, what is, with holding all the pieces of furniture, what's that like?
It's a bit scary. And this set is ever so slightly different from the set in London, so it's getting used to the little sort of subtle differences. And it is like a real jigsaw, and making sure all the furniture is right, and the surface isn't too slippery, and all of that stuff. It is, and it's kind of just getting used to it and doing it again and again, getting used to the moves and being in control. A lot of the physical stuff is about being in control and knowing where everything is and being really, really precise. That's quite often, that's the way to really make it work.
You don't slide into the audience with all that furniture filing right behind you, baffles me. And you don't have to go to the gym anymore, do you, with what you carry around?
I just lift that couch on my back for 10 minutes at the end. An interesting little fact about that piece of furniture. It kept breaking. So stage management and crew and production said, well, we need to reinforce it. We need to make it stronger, which makes sense. They've reinforced it with steel and aluminium. So it weighs probably more than me now. So it's great. It's great.
Carry him around.
I can now. I can juggle him. I can
be lighter.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm the rehearsal chaise longue. Yeah.
Such an incredible journey, like you said, starting in the pub where there was like 6 people there. I mean, the journey your show has taken. You're under the Queensboro Bridge in New York. You're starring on Broadway at one of the most beautiful theaters ever. This star-studded opening. I mean, it's got to be like, wow, where do I start?
Yeah, it's pretty weird, Yeah, it's very different. You don't often take the time to sort of sit back and look at where you are because it's all happening to you. You don't really think about it, but yeah, where we are right now is pretty amazing compared to where we were. Yeah.
Oh yeah, most certainly compared to where we were. But yeah, like Henry says, it's like you kind of forget to think about it sometimes because we're here to do a job. So we get our heads down and we want to give the best show we can, and we're just so thrilled we're coming over here to make even more people laugh with this show that we just put together like a few years back. So yeah,
I remember our first ever opening night when we were in the pub at the Old Red Lion. after the show, our evening after the show was taking down the set and carting it all outside and covering it in tarpaulin so it wouldn't get wet in the rain because someone else had to use the theatre the next night. And then we all went home and fell asleep so that we could go to work the next day. So this is a better night already. This is better.
We got no work tomorrow. No work tomorrow. That's fine.